Guys, I was just sitting on here forever because I was waiting for it to upload. Internet here. Hi everyone. Welcome in. I've not been live on here, as you guys have noticed, in quite a long time. I was going a little bit incognito, but things are a little different now. Currently, I'm waiting for your signs to upload for the new moon in Cancer, but I thought I would jump on and kind of do a little bit of like, I was meaning to do this since the whole entanglement word blew up. Like, that cracked me up. Thank you, Jada Pinkett Smith, for bringing an enlightenment to quantum physics and to entanglement as a whole. But I've been noticing some new people been flooding on the channel, and they've been talking about, hi, my loves, hello. It's good to see you guys. Yeah, I have lots of things to talk about. But like I said, I'll be uploading the new moon readings. I did them for every sign. It's uploading right now as we speak. So whenever that pops up, it'll be ready to go on my channel. But I was gonna welcome all my new peeps that were all about entanglement right now and talk about it, because I've been watching some comments come in on some of the videos. How people are like, thinking I'm just trending entanglement tarot scope because of Jada Pinkett Smith. No. I've been doing entanglement tarot scope since the beginning when I started this channel. So thank you, Tina. Is that okay? That's tripping me out. Thank you, Tina, because the girl who did my hair, actually her name is Tina, so that's adorable. Oh, thank you, Christina, for the $2.99. I appreciate that. I am the freaking entanglement originator. Well, for tarot. Technically, it's like Niels Bohr and Einstein and Erwin Schrödinger. So I can't fully take credit for the whole term of entanglement. But yeah, that's what I was going to talk about a little bit. I was going to give you guys some of my insights that I've been getting today, because I was out like in nature a little bit, and freaking G, I was getting so many different insights. So I was thinking about, and I'm sure you guys will be able to relate to a certain extent. So you know how at the beginning of entanglements, like, it's sometimes hard for you to see exactly how a relationship will end up. There's almost two parts of you, because there's a chemical side of you that's almost being pulled into a specific person. And then on the other side of it, you'll have like maybe your higher self or your intuition that's communicating to you and letting you know, hey, this is gonna turn out in this specific way. And I've been diving into why. And to me, the way I've been seeing it, because you guys know I talk a lot about free radicals and things like that, and I was discovering today that the things that you ingest or put on your skin or things like that, that entanglement is going to possibly affect the nerves. So let's say, for instance, you put like makeup on. That's why I'm not even wearing makeup anymore, because I've been so crazy about this stuff. Like, I swear to you, I've been getting more and more downloads about how many free radicals we're ingesting and how it just turns off the lights inside of your body. So it's like whenever your nerves go through a certain amount of damage, then when you're in abusive or damaging relationships, it's going to be a lot harder for you to be able to even see that it's actual abuse that you're entangling with, or to see the red flags, because there's a misalignment based off of all of those things coming together. Does that make sense? And thank you so much, Vic. Thank you for the $4.99. I love you guys. So yeah, I was thinking about things like that. And get this, today I was thinking about how there are cells, right? We have about 37.2 trillion cells in the body, and each one of them has thousands to millions to billions of receptors on the cells. So I was like, yeah, we have these little antenna things that are sticking off of the cells. And then I was like, you know what's really crazy is that we also have that with like hair on our body. And today I was thinking about, even, I know this might be TMI, but I was thinking about how I even shave. And I was like, what if, you guys are gonna think I'm so weird, but this is literally what I think about every single day. This is where my mind goes to. But I was like, what if even shaving your legs or something like that, and even laser hair removal really freaks me out, because I was like, hair is supposed to be there for a reason. And I was like, what if your hairs are even kind of vibrational sensors that they're going to be helping you to pick up on things in your environment? And if you're again like chopping off those things or desensitizing yourself in some way, shape, or form, then it's even harder for you to see exactly what you're entangling with. Because if you're doing some type of like altering the body, then it could come out in the relationship that someone's going to come in and see those vulnerabilities in you and try to possibly, like, that's the entanglement, that's the mirror neurons and stuff. You know what I mean? I know, I am such a nerd. Why am I like this? Okay, let me see, because I saw someone jump in a question, so I was going to answer it really quick. Oh, it's so cool. Alaska? Yeah, where are you guys tuning in from? Oh, there's so many people in here. I thought there'd be just like a few. That's so nice. Let's see. Oh, thank you guys so much. What is the entanglement thing? Okay, so Tracy, entanglement is where two quantum entities, when they come together and they come into relationship with one another, they will affect each other's behavior no matter the distance between them. So if you take two electrons and you put them, close to each other, that's where they come into relationship with one another. And if I were to take one of them and shoot one out at the moon and keep the other one here on Earth, they would still affect each other's behavior. So that's why that still happens when it comes to your evolution and your growth and the people that you've been in relationships. So I know that a lot of people get kind of frustrated when it's like, oh, the past keeps coming back to the reading. But if like, even if people get frustrated by that, sometimes like, well, that's kind of a projection that maybe you haven't totally made peace with the past. I love you guys, but that's how much that sucks. Like when people get so frustrated about the past still coming back into readings. So that's the basis of entanglement. It's so much more than just like a therapist hooking up with a someone who's really wounded. Okay. Oh, how to rebalance. So Nadine, how to rebalance yourself after abusive entanglements, feeling very strange even a year later, diets and stuff, and trying fasting. It's a process, because I do all of that. You guys know, like, I do fasting, diet. I take so many crazy herbs that you guys wouldn't even believe it. And my workout routines are freaking insane because I'm just so determined to go through that like purging and that cycling of cells. So to me, it's a combination through cellular regeneration and also through your knowledge, because you're having to deprogram, you're having to really change the way you perceive reality, because especially if you come into abusive entanglements, that's going to go so much deeper than just that one relationship. It's going to go down to your childhood. So you're really having to change cellular programming and the way that you think all the way down from your childhood. So I've heard that's why the peas wear their hair long. What? The peas? Yeah, I think about this stuff all the time. Oh my gosh, Oregon, that's so cool. Florida, Switzerland, Kansas, Oakley homies, that's adorable. Oh, thank you, Phoenixia. Thank you for the 5. That's so nice. Seattle, Ohio, South Africa, LA, New York. Who have we got? Yeah, I did say entanglements before Jada, but I'm like, well, at least you put entanglement on the map, so that's nice. Thank you, Nancy, for the $5. That's so nice. New York. Oh, hi, Kelly. It's good to see you guys. Um, oh, that's what you guys were saying. Yeah, with the hair. I forgot I was talking about that already. That's how my mind is. As soon as hair comes out of the follicle, it's dead. Yeah, that's true. But it's alive until then. Sorry, I'm just reading these. Yeah, Vic, I'll leave this up after so you guys can jump into this. Oh, that's so sad. There should be tarot readings for seniors. We cannot relate to the collective readings. That's so sad. Yeah, maybe I'll look at doing something like that. Hawaii, holy crap, there's so many comments here. Okay. So, what else was I going to tell you? What if you were in an abusive entanglement but didn't have trauma as a child? How come that happened? You know, it doesn't have to be straight up trauma. That's why when I talk about in my readings, when it comes to eventually coming into a significant amount of trauma, you can still take on your parents' trauma. So maybe they're more conscious about treating you in a different way than their trauma was, but if you are, because you're made up of their cellular makeup, they yeah, it's the programming. So it's the amino acids, you know, because when you're created in the fetus inside of your mother, she's feeding you with the 20 essential amino acids, whatever she's putting into her body, you're feeding with that. So that's why when you're being created, if you're being created with free radicals, if those are going into your development, so say like at the point of gestation during that 9 months when you are being conceived in the womb, if your mother is ingesting free radicals, say for instance when your brain or your gut is being created, then that's how you can relate it to the spiritual side, how it's going to touch on your self-worth or your self-esteem, or when it comes to the root chakra, that's going to be sexual trauma. So your parents take on their memories, whatever perceptions they had, combined with the food that they're ingesting and maybe whatever chemicals are in the current environment. So then there's an accumulation that happens, because once you get programmed with that, whatever those chemicals are, that's why we as humans perceive children as being more innocent. It's just because they haven't had as much of an accumulation and their cells happen. They haven't come into all these food addictions quite yet, but not totally. You know, the way I see this is that these newer generations that are coming in, they're having much more sensitivities. Their health is breaking down even faster because it's accumulating in the cells. Those are the receptors that are taking on those specific chemicals. And if there's too many acidic things that are breaking down the cells in the body, then it eventually is going to turn into a tower moment or a traumatic event. So that's how it can lead up to more traumatic or abusive situations or environments. Does that all make sense? So you just got to look at the tiny things that seem significant, that it's like, well, that's not trauma, but that will eventually accumulate into something traumatic. Why does it seem that some humans can physically handle lots of entanglements and others not? Can work or other aspects of life beside relationships be considered entanglements? Yeah, Liz, so it really depends on the codependencies, because some people, I wouldn't necessarily say that they can handle it. I would just say that people are more accustomed to feeding more off of multiple energies than others, that they almost need it for their survival. That's why, to me, someone who can handle a hermit mode or handle being on their alone in their alone time and be peaceful in that is probably a little bit more powerful than a person that constantly needs to be surrounded by other people. So I don't know, to me it's more of an appearance that, yeah, they're surrounded by all these people, but to me I just see a lost soul, that, because to me it's the quantum physics. You've got decoherence the more people that you're surrounded by. And some people just feed off of that, you know, that's That's where we're at in this day and age. I don't trust it worth shit though. Oh my gosh, I started a comment on one of your videos just yesterday that it'd be cool if you spoke about entanglements as you speak about it on your own platform. Yeah, so I thought I would come out and talk about it since I've been seeing so many people that are commenting like, oh, haha, entanglement, Jada Pinkett Smith, and there's just so much more to entanglement than that whole situation. Phoenixia. My question is regards to when cutting cords, especially with behaviors that have been associated with past life entanglements. How? How does one identify this? You know, I do believe in past lives and things like that. I just don't do a lot of focus on them because I don't feel a need to. There's just so much subconscious stuff going on, and you'll usually experience it. Like when you come into a very significant soulmate bond or something, you'll feel a memory come up. Like I've had some crazy situations where I saw someone leave and then I saw that it was somehow related to a past life when a husband had gone off to war. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that was literally something that I saw in the moment. So when it comes to cutting cords, a lot of the times I see it as like, I don't know, I'm just crazy about diet and fasting and letting the cell go through autophagy, because you usually have to let the body come in and create its own chemicals so that it can rejuvenate and regenerate itself. That's why, to some level or degree, I do agree a little bit with Rhonda Burns, how she talks about the benefits of autophagy and, you know, when the body goes into ketosis and it starts actually like taking care of the dead senescent cells, it starts actually ingesting them. So we as humans, we see it as, oh, fasting, your body's just eating your fat. It's doing so much more than that. It's cleansing itself. It's a combination of things though, okay? Because I'm not just gonna say straight up like fasting is gonna be a cure-all. To me, it's just full-blown lifestyle changes, pattern changes, changing, you know, work environments, relationship situations. It's a lot of hermit mode to shift and change the dynamic of who you are as a human. You know what I mean? So it's a big time combination when it comes to cord cutting. That's why I'm not a typical, and I'm not ripping on them, but I'm not one of those energy workers that's like, I'm gonna write down a little spell. I do believe in journaling and writing things down and creating your future, but I'm not one of those people that thinks that you can just go get Reiki and everything's gonna be solved, because I'm telling you, I have worked my buns off, and there's no Reiki session that would have been able to like cure my panic attacks or anything. No, none of that would have helped me. It took me really working on my transformation. So I'm not that type of I'm just gonna imagine the cord being cut and it's cut. No. It is not that simple. It's freaking insane. So let's see. I'm sorry, these are hard to keep up to. I haven't even been able to see. No, actually, I was like, oh, I'm sure people are gonna freak out over me saying entanglement on my videos and think I'm just trending, but no, I haven't seen like anything blow up from them or anything, but hi guys, hey, yeah. I'm sorry, these are so much to keep up with. I cannot keep up with the comments. But I was just gonna let you know. Let me see how close my thing is. Yeah, my video is about to upload with all the new moon readings. Okay. What I was gonna tell you guys too. What was I gonna tell you? Oh, like I told you guys before, I'm gonna be making some changes on the channel. Like you'll see, I'm really excited. It's a lot, so that's why I haven't been as active here on the channel, because I've just it's so much that I've been trying to do. So just keep in touch, and you can subscribe to my website. I'm just letting you guys know because I'm gonna start coming out and talking about some things, and I'm not really sure how much YouTube is going to be a fan of it. So I'm going to be joining some other platforms just in case my channel gets shut down. So if you guys want to jump over to my website and subscribe over there, just send me your email address. I don't do any crazy things. I don't spam you constantly with emails. I'm not that type of person. So if you guys want to send me your email address over there and keep in touch, I'll keep you updated in case something goes on with my channel, okay? Because it's very possible with some of the things that I'm gonna come out and talk about. Thank you, Lisa, for the $13.99. That's so sweet. Oh yeah, so my website is jocelynblackwell.com, and it's JOSSLYN blackwell.com. Yeah, what the heck? Somebody reach out to Jada and have her blow up my channel. I don't know. It is whatever. But yeah. Were there any other questions? I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Oh, but I was gonna let you guys know too. If you've read Bruce H. Lipton's book, Biology of Belief, okay, I love Bruce H. Lipton, and I read his book and Candace Pert's book, Molecules of Emotion, and both of those books were like, oh my gosh, they blew my mind when I first came across them. But I do think that there's a certain extent of information that's also been missing, and that's why I think that there's just more to things that doctors don't really talk about, like Joe Dispenza and Bruce H. Lipton. I love them both, but I think that they're not touching as much on the power of what we could transform into when it comes to integrating more herbs and things like that into the body. Like, I would probably say I'm a little bit more pagan when it comes to that part, where I'm more into herbal, like rejuvenation and things of the earth to replenish the body. So that's why I was saying, like, those are the things that I'm planning to come out and talk about that might not be received very well by YouTube. So like I said, I'm going to be trying a couple other platforms, and if you guys want to, like I said, follow along and keep in touch, yeah, subscribe to my website, because I don't know how or where this is going to go. I've seen some other like channels that are a little bit more like edgy on what they communicate that haven't been shut down, so I'm kind of hoping that's what happens. But we shall see how it goes. But lots more that I'm going to be talking about, so much, so prepare yourselves. I'm just in this weird transition time, and you can tell, like, I just have so much going on. But keep in touch. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your support, and yeah, let's hope so. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. That's possible too, because sometimes I tend to do that too. But yeah, Blackwell is BLACKWELL. My website information, it's, if you connect on, if you go under any of the reading videos, it's in the description box below. So you can just click on the link there, and it will take you right over to my website, okay? I think that's all I wanted to say, though. I'm gonna try to upload your guys' new moon readings right now, though, so yeah, keep in touch, because seriously, you guys have no idea how much I've been holding back. I have so much freaking information, and I just feel like it's not quite the time to come out and really talk about it. And so I've been kind of waiting to do this big reveal. And yeah, when I roll out with this information, well, that's why I'm trying to get some other things lined up, like get some other platforms put together and things like that, before I fully come out and talk about everything that I've been getting and just transformations and transitions that I've been going through. And I also will be moving again quite a bit over the next like couple weeks. I'm going to be moving a lot, jumping around to different places. So bear with me because I don't know exactly how my internet is going to line up and things like that. Especially because it's frustrating me more and more that wherever I go, masks are being more and more like required to be worn, and I refuse to wear them. Like when I go into places and it's required, I literally just wear it like it's a beard. I refuse. I'm like, no, because you're gonna take away people. Oh, don't get me started. I'm so sorry. I'm very respectful of other people wearing them, but it really bothers me that it's being demanded on me. I will not lie, because I know that the body needs oxygen, and I'm not gonna let that be taken away, even for a moment of going through a grocery store or something. Absolutely not. Because the body actually needs freaking oxygen for the immunity to be high. It's so freaking ridiculous. I cannot even handle this. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that's why I'll be jumping around quite a bit. So prepare yourselves, because this is when I usually get to be. Well, sometimes I'm actually more consistent when I'm jumping around to different places, but yeah. Amy, I travel a lot because, you know, sometimes the way I see it, I know that this is going to sound really ridiculous, but I travel a lot because, I don't know, just sometimes I just feel a feeling to go to maybe a different place. And that's sometimes when I get more insights. So whenever I get, to me, it's a scientific thing. Whenever I start feeling like there's a need for maybe the neural net wiring to change up, I'm being taken to different places. And that's why I encourage travel so much, because travel really does heal trauma. It switches up your reality and it starts transforming who you are as a human, especially the more that you experience different cultures. That education is priceless. Priceless. So I know it seems like kind of chaotic and crazy. Like, I am definitely a non-committal person, but that's why, because I get so many insights that are like insane when I jump out to different places, because I'm experiencing new things, and I'm like just delighted by new languages, new experiences, new locations. It's so good for my brain. For me, it's very healing. So that's why I travel a lot. So yeah. I can't get a haircut. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's funny. It is a muzzling. I totally agree. It's kind of like a don't speak. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Let's see. I work with an acupuncture who also believes in herbs. He's helped me move forward in my healing. Can't wait to hear what you have to say. Thank you. It's not for work other than what you do here. Yeah, I travel so that I have more stuff to share on here. Does that make sense? Because I just more comes to me, and I'm usually meeting different people and stuff like that, which helps me to see more depths of entanglements and things like that. I can't say anything for sure, Kim. Like, that's why I have to be kind of cautious. To me, I see it as a form of control. But, you know, I have to be really cautious about what I say. I got in trouble by YouTube before by talking about certain things, so I have to be really cautious. Yeah. If you can breathe through mask, you're not safe. I don't know. You guys should read the book, though. My sensei has been recommending this. Sorry, I'm just like babbling at this point, but My sensei was recommending to read the book Breathe. I think it's on the New York best-selling Times book. I read a little bit of it, and it was a really good book. You should maybe read it if you guys feel pulled to that. It's so true. And I'll tell you, like, especially I've been doing a lot of swimming lately, and the breath work there, OM freaking D, the breath work really does bring your body to some type of like homeostasis or equilibrium. And if you think about it, yeah, the more restriction to breathing there is, it causes the body to become acidic. And that it's like this karmic cycle around when you feel stressed. You take shorter breaths, you're like, and the body needs like in through the nose, out through the mouth. That already just calms you down. So, yeah, opening up the throat chakra, speak. Just find an outlet to speak. That's hilarious. You have a face, I mean, to match your voice. I've not seen you before now. That's hilarious. Well, I do have other videos. Actually, that's something that I don't really talk about it much, but if you guys go over to my playlist, I have a bunch of videos where I'm talking to the camera, where I'm like face to face and talking to you guys. Actually, that's what I was going to tell you guys too. I'm glad you brought that up, because if you jump over to my playlist, there's a foundational playlist that you can check out, and it's where I go through the step-by-step process of like entanglements in relationships and what they look like and how they're going to play out and how it relates to your family trauma and the quantum physics of it. So if you guys want to jump over to that playlist, I would highly recommend it. You'll see it, like I just have other videos. You'll see all the signs, and then there's ones that are like foundational videos. Go check out those, because those are where I dive so much more in depth than sometimes the readings. That's so true. So why are medical professionals just fine? Hey, Amy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my friend Tina just recommended that I watch Down to Earth. I've been watching that. I like it, and I agree with everything they're saying on there. I really agreed with the one that talked about water, where they went to France and they were looking at the type of water that people are drinking. That's definitely a factor, huge factor. I love the one about Costa Rica, how they talk about, sorry, I'm getting distracted by the comments. The one in Costa Rica where they talk about, living in a more natural environment, where they have like a sustainable type of eco-friendly living environment. Yeah, I totally agree with that. In fact, man, every time when I was watching the one in Costa Rica, it totally reminded me about when I went to work on a farm in Hawaii. I was like, oh, and freaking gee, I miss it so bad. Like, it's really interesting because, as you guys know, I got an astrology reading by Brian Coulter. I really love that guy. Seriously, look up his YouTube channel. He is so freaking awesome. And he did my cartology, and he was like, it was the craziest thing. He was like, don't go to Hawaii. And I was like, why? And he's like, there's not very good energy for you there. And it was so true. I had the worst experience in Hawaii. Hawaii is so special. I loved a part of it, but I had literally the most traumatic experience there. I don't know if I'll ever go back there. Ever. And since Brian did that part of the reading, I was mind blown. And he was like, yeah, don't go back to Hawaii. So he was like telling me all the places in the world that I could go to that are like of a better energy. So that's also why, like, when Amy was asking about why I travel so much, because I'm super curious to try out these different energetic places in the world. So that's part of the reason why I really want to go try this out, because Even though Hawaii was a very traumatic experience, dude, when I was out there working on an organic farm, oh my gosh, I had the most freaking amazing insights. In fact, if you guys go back through your playlists, because each of you guys have a playlist for your sign, if you go back to some videos from actually a year ago, it was literally a year ago when I was in Hawaii. If you go back to some of those videos, you'll see where I was living in the little shack there, where I was working on the organic farm. And some of those readings were freaking crazy because I was getting so many insights while I was working with the land there. It was such a magical time. But yeah, his last name is Coulter. It's Brian Coulter. He has his own YouTube channel, but he also uploads on Lada Duncheva's story. Yeah, my Hawaii experience, oh, was so bad. I'm just talking. So anyway, yeah, I'm just rambling at this point. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I was planning to tell you guys. I need to really upload that video right now with your readings. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna jump off and I'm gonna upload your guys' new moon readings right now, who's coming towards you. So you can go ahead and jump on and just stay tuned. There's so many changes to the channel that are coming and I'm so excited. So I love you guys so much. Have a beautiful new moon day, evening, wherever you're at in the world. And thank you so much for all your love and support, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.